Captain, I appreciate your time this evening, but let's start off with what factors went into deciding these 5 new locations and 8 sub-centers.
Thank you very much. I think since the whole day, since I started the interview, I've always tried to start with an apology and also our condolences to the bereaved families on behalf of the Minister for Defense, the Military High Command, and the entire Ghana Armed Forces. A number of factors went into this decision. One, to start with, we've missed a number of days already. Meanwhile, all the other regions are having their the screening process going on smoothly. So we need to double our efforts to be able to work in tandem with the other regions. So this is the main factor for the extra centers that were added up, so that we'll be able to work at least as close as possible to the other regions, so that the Greater Accra is not left behind. Especially looking at the numbers, Greater Accra was going to take a longer period, and now with the temporary suspension, it will take a much longer time. So we needed more centers to help with the process.
People are you expecting, and over how many days?
Triggered a sudden rush, leaving
22,000 applicants within the Greater Accra region. Yes, those are the figures I got from my team. I mean, the personnel in charge of recruitment. They're expecting about roughly 22,000 people or applicants, yes.
So over how many days are you able to see all these 22,000 people?
So I said we will take 600 per each center. And so for the first day, we'll see if we are able to finish go through the 600, let's say by 1 p.m. and there's more time, that will influence the numbers. So it's possible the next day we could add a few so as to clear the backlog. I think it should not take not less than a week from all these centers. So even on the average, if we are taking that 6,000 from the 8 locations, that already adds up to about 4,800. Yes, so I believe about a week should suffice for the screening. For this first phase, they are in phases. This first part of the screening has to do with inspection of certificates and then physical body selection. That is phase 1. We'll come to another phase, which will be written examination, and then we'll go to another phase, which will be a medical examination, so on and so forth. So for this first phase, I foresee it not lasting less than 1 week.
I see. So now let's get into what measures are in place now for crowd control and avert anything like we saw last week.
So to start with, the applicants are going to be segmented in service lots. So applicants applying to the Navy will be restricted to the Tema Naval Base. Those applying to the Air Force will be restricted to the Air Force Base Accra, that is in Dematam. And then the LWAC, the Nicholson Stadium, and the Training and Doctrine Command will take care of the rest, which is the Army applicants. Meanwhile, we have doubled up personnel. We have beefed up the personnel strength. We also have a number of military police going to be present at the various centers to ensure that only applicants are allowed into the centers to reduce overcrowding and to ensure that the process moves on seamlessly. We've also put in place ambulances. Let me say that the ambulances existed even in the former planning. We also have water just like we had in the first time, and then there will be chairs, there will be canopies. Yes, so the numbers of personnel going to be involved in the screening has increased. tremendously to ensure that we have all hands on deck, and also to ensure that non-applicants do not get anywhere close to the census.
Naval Captain, curiously, if the armed forces knew to do this, the question is why these measures were not in place from the get-go.
I think that is a very tangible question to ask. Over the years, we've done the recruitment at the Elwak Stadium. We've done it across the regions. At a point in time, after a certain stage, virtually everybody congregates in Elwak, and it has worked for us over the years. But unfortunately, this year, it failed us. So I believe it's time for us to review what we do. There is an erroneous impression out there as though no planning had taken place, no preparations had taken place. That is not true. We have done this recruitment over and over again, and we have always put in place measures to ensure that personnel are secured. We have first and second and sometimes even third level preparation to ensure that everything goes well. And that has served us over the years. But like I said, this year, unfortunately, it has not held. It is regrettable. And that is why we are now going to this extra steps to make sure that we get more centers to reduce the pressure. Now, this new plan looks like it's fantastic, but I can bet you in some years to come, these same plans that today we are hailing may not work as effective. So what it means is that we need to do a review of the process and then make sure we put in place measures that would address any such occurrences going forward.
Your statement also reminds us of the Board of Inquiry investigations, which you tell us is underway. What are the terms of reference, Naval Captain?
To start with, I am not a member of the Board of Inquiry. And since this incident, I've been a bit busy as well. I've been part of the team that went to visit the families of the deceased, and I've been on one media station to the other, so I have not averted my mind to that, and so I'm unable to tell you the terms of investigation. But I want to believe that a thorough work will be done, because the Ghana Armed Forces and the Ministry of Defense, we are pained. We are saddened by this event, and we'll do everything possible to get to the bottom of the problem so that it saves us all this embarrassment and all this pain that we are going through now. So I can't give you specific terms of reference, but I can assure you that everything possible will be done to unravel the causes of this year's recruitment process.
The position for some is that the armed forces should not be investigating itself. What are your thoughts on that?
They may not be wrong. That could be another approach. But I believe that the armed forces, in order to ensure that there is transparent process, have asked all the officers who are in charge of the enlistment, both the hierarchy and those in charge at the Greater Accra region. They have all been asked to step aside. And a new team is in. And those teams also have their image to protect, have their dignity to protect. So I'm not sure that they will want to cover up just to save their friends at the expense of the military. I believe that the military has the capabilities and the professionals to do the work well. In any case, we better understand our system. And so we are in a better position to do this investigation than to bring maybe a non-military person who may not understand some of the basic reasons why we do what we do. So being a first point, I think the military is in a better position to investigate this problem. If after that, the powers that be think that they want another one, well, I don't know. But for now, I think the military is best placed to do the investigation. And we trust that we'll come out with an open and a transparent findings, because we want to improve the system for ourselves. We need this applicants to join the system to help us defend our motherland. Our aim is not to have them, unfortunately, get hurt and some die. So everything possible will be done to make sure that we arrive at the causes and we also find solutions that will last.
What is the current condition of the victims who have been hospitalized?
Thank you. I must say that their conditions have improved tremendously. The 5 in the ICU, 3 of them are much better and they have moved to another section of the hospital. 2 are still in the ICU. 1 is okay, 1 is not too good, but at least all 5 are alive. All the others who are injured, they are all receiving the best of care. Our aim is to ensure that no other person passes on to join this number. 1 death is bad, 6 is terrible. And so to have another one, and so we have our personnel, our medical staff are on their toes to ensure that the best of care is rendered to those in the ICU and those in the other sections of the hospital. So currently, as of this morning, when I checked, we had 16. Out of that, 2 in the ICU, 3 had been moved to, I think, the neuro. Those are technical for me. But all said and done, they are doing well. A number of them have been discharged.
Well, now let's talk about those visits. How did they go? When was the last time you visited?
I think we started Friday, I think. We started from Adenta, and then we went to Katamanso general area. But that day it rained, so we couldn't continue. So we did the other 4 on, we started Friday. Honestly, I've forgotten about the days. I have to cross-check. But we did the remaining 4 on the Saturday. So it meant that the first one was on Friday. We did the remaining 4 on the Saturday. We went to Enyan. It's in the central region. We had 2 around Kasua, and then we had a 4th one around Tutu. I must say it was heart-wrenching. It was difficult to see the family. It was very difficult. It was very difficult, and our heart goes out to the family. It's been a very difficult time, very traumatic. Some with only 2 children, and 1 is gone. It's a sad event that we hope will not reoccur within at least not in our lifetime. It was very terrible, terrible to say the least.
Naval Captain, I appreciate your time with us. Thank you so much. Naval Captain Veronica Adzo Arhin is Acting Director General Public Relations of the Ghana Navy. Just a quick